how do you square the feeling in Colombo that the Aragalaya protests will disrupt, for example, negotiations, they'll disrupt tourism, but on the other side, people have to accept that if it weren't for the Aragalaya, we probably wouldn't have had any changes. And nobody is condoning any violence on either side open, but we know that throughout history, people's movements, it has violence. There's violent aspect to it. The agitation will inevitably lead to a form of violence. Now, what I meant when I meant this, the liberal stomach for this, is that I noticed that a lot of people on social media turned away very quickly sometimes from the Aragalaya, saying, oh, it's become a JVP thing, it's become a IUSF thing, etc. Do you think that there's a proper, maybe people haven't quite appreciated that even if it is a JVP thing, it's made some real changes. So do you think that maybe the Ranil Wickremesinghe Premiership will make people further appreciate it, but do you think there's a dynamic that is presenting a challenge for you, for people in the Aragalaya?
Yes, I'm sure, the Ranil coming in and the narrative that they're now trying to give, that this is now controlled by it's a spin. Yes. We know this. You give it a spin. You try to, that's propaganda at work. Now, to your point, is the Aragalaya now run by the IUSF or anyone? I mean, I am not, for example, I am not directed by them. I am not waiting for their instructions. The artists of the protest movement don't wait for a call. No, the vast number of my daughters went initially. Some of them, both of them are still involved in their own little way. They'll go to the junction and hold a candle or protest or carry a board, come to my friend who comes every day. We don't take instructions from them. Exactly. So to give this narrative, false narrative, it's controlled by them. Now we have the IT industry. And in that group, Kusum, there are founders, CEOs, CTOs, top guys who are in the movement. Now we just put out a statement. Again, we had 2 protest actions. We were not controlled by the IUSF. So it's a false narrative. We feel the pain and we think, even on Saturday, we think we should come out because nothing has changed with Ranil coming. And we'll come to that later. To your point about this narrative, yes, but those are people who I call fickle. Correct. They don't really feel the pain. So they can, they thought this is good and then they see something but they don't look into it deeply. So I don't see that at all. Coming to the IUSF, look at the role they have played right throughout our Colombo and the more, I don't like to put labels, the more privileged people, shall we say, Colombo, Kandy, wherever they may be, they look at the IUSF coming on protests, condemn them. These bloody fellows, free education. This is what you hammer the fellows. You have seen the rhetoric. Now they come there to ask for the benefits for their own. Contrast that with the ministers, shamelessly come to parliament and for their own bloody perks. They come there. What is the first thing they did? Rebuild the houses. 83 riots. None of them said rebuild the houses of the Tamils and the businesses. Some Sinhala businesses also got caught up. When you build a Tamil house, single house gets burned, right? You see the difference between the IUSF and the ministers. Fat cats who want to, make their lives better. First thing they spoke about, debated over 3 or 4 days.
And Peter, the Prime Minister called them a militant organization, the IUSF.
Yes, I don't know what he meant by militant.
It's a very...
Yeah, why put names like that? Surely the people, founding fathers who fought against the British were militant. Nothing wrong in that.
And he suggested that they have 6 or 7 protests every year. So he suggested that this is something they normally do, but that's not true, is it?
That shows the attitude of the man, callous. You think people just like to get pattern charged and tear gassed just for the fun of it? And what are their demands? Always has been 6% for education, cuts to education, and now change the system. You see the photograph, they are ordinary young people of this country, Kusum. And you see some of them, even after the tear gas, the photographs they have taken, the selfies, these are ordinary people. They have no future. So they're nothing but, and you saw the way they even poured water into the eyes of a STF who has, they try to make out. If that is what militancy is, I hope more people become militant. But that's what has happened. We have failed our people because we are not ready to walk the talk, come out, be a part of a movement for change. Now, trade unions, when we come out, we get beaten by gangs with bicycle chains. So what?